Welcome back. You're watching Startup Central with me, Nayantara Rai. Well, it's a season of raising big bucks, and here's another unicorn that has done just that. It is Dhruva that has raised big bucks from a clutch of marquee investors, and joining us all the way from the United States of America is the founder, Jaspreet. Jaspreet, thanks so much for joining us live right here. Your valuation almost doubling to $2 billion. Tell us about this fundraise, and I'm so curious to know why you looked at an equity fundraise when you're in the US and didn't go in for the flavor of the season, which is the blank check phenomenon and SPACs.
I think a great question. Yes, you're right. There are a lot of opportunities. It's a great time to be an entrepreneur, to have so many different options to raise look capital for. This is a private sort of a round, and we have seen a great year of growth last year with some great numbers posted by Dhruva on the data growth patterns and what we've seen with the number of customer growth and stuff like that. And we felt that we need investors who are long-term investors who would fund the company now, but also have a strong holding pattern. And they almost will treat this as a startup position. When the company decides to go IPO, they could invest more and sort of grow with the company, right? So this is a starting position for a lot of these firms. That's how we thought about raising this capital, strategic investments for a long-term holding pattern. SPACs are very interesting. It's definitely one route to go to market. A year ago, I would have said no to SPACs, given it was a very unknown part of the market. Now, given the surge in SPACs, given the high quality sponsors, given the high quality SPACs, it's definitely an interesting route to market, which we'll definitely consider as we consider becoming a public company in the future. But this is right now a private round, and hence the focus on hedge funds and late stage investors.
So, when you're raising this kind of big bucks, it also obviously indicates that business, should indicate rather, that business has been good. Now, your business, the cloud business particularly, would have got such a big impetus because of coronavirus, because of the lockdown. How has it been?
So I think it's been a mixed, in many ways. I think we spoke about last time. I think India was going into lockdown and it came out, and again, now going into it, and US has been up and down as well. Definitely a lot of uncertainty, but also a lot of opportunity, right? From a personal standpoint or employee standpoint, definitely it's a hard position to be in a lockdown or in a pandemic. From business standpoint, the cloud acceleration has been very, very robust. Microsoft posted about 45% growth numbers in certain areas of the business. We have seen almost 90% growth in certain products which cater to, for example, backup of Microsoft 365 product. So some strong progress in areas of growth and customer demand when it comes to growth of public cloud adoption. And I think the COVID almost taught all of us an important lesson that never waste a good crisis, right? It's definitely a crisis, but it's a lot of interesting learnings, personal, professional, coming out of it, which are very, very meaningful to shape the business for the next 10 years to come.
So, with work from home, staying as a normal, the hybrid phenomenon that we all are hearing about that's going to take place, what is it going to mean for a company like Dhruva? How are companies realigning themselves?
Three interesting trends. We saw, first of all, I was talking to Puneet Chandok from AWS, is the head of AWS India. And he and I was having a dialogue about go-to-market, and he shared that when the lockdown first happened in India, there was, business mortality or areas of concern where there were no cabs running and no food being delivered for the first 3 months, and hence the IT spending froze. Right? And then the board asked the question saying, if the business is down, why is IT spending or IT infrastructure not very agile? So that created one tsunami for infra to move to public cloud for just business agility and response to a pandemic. Second big wave was, as you rightly mentioned, the digitalization or security of workforce or remote work from home scenarios. The third was, I believe, and came up which was also the internet-orientedness of businesses, like traditional businesses who had a very, a limited and a very focused reach to customers through interpersonal connects, but now had to be internet enabled from a small shop around the corner to even the large retail chains. And so these three trends have sort of almost compounded. People are looking for agility in their businesses and core supply chain or core infrastructure. They're looking for workforce digitalization and security. They're also looking for internet and digitalization enablement. And all sort of three trends are coming towards almost a discussion of IT re-architecture or a data re-architecture, which is what impacts how they think of data protection, cybersecurity, and sort of hence Dhruva.
And are you seeing a willingness by corporates to pay more for this division, for cloud and all of that?
Definitely so. It's also not paying more, but paying different. That the spending is shifting. There obviously a lot of have and have nots through COVID. Some segments have accelerated rapidly, and internet-enabled businesses and pharma sectors, or even infrastructure as a sector after the new political shift in at least in the states. And there are some unfortunate industries which are not been so fortunate through COVID. So it's a world of have and have not when it comes to raw IT spending, but also it's a shift in spending. What they were spending on was a hardware and software and core infrastructure, and now they're spending on a very agile world for public cloud. So it's a shift in spending and also shift in sort of sectoral view of who is the have and have nots.
Jaspreet, I'll make this my final question. So going forward, what do you plan to do with all the capital that you have raised? You talk about big bucks here. It's a big fact check. What's the plan?
We've been, fortunate with a great growth story last year. We are investing in areas of, already investing in areas of innovation by bringing up new applications to market or new products to market. We are expanding through our routes to market and geo expansion. But also last 2 weeks ago, we announced a major partnership with Dell. Dell has been a dominant player, one of the largest player in the private cloud world, through Michael Dell's vision around Project Apex, as they call it, where everything in Dell has to be launched as a service, and they're building a robust solution to public cloud. Dhruva is part of that equation, and we announced a partnership 2 weeks ago, and it's a global resell and OEM, where they'll be reselling and OEMing our products to build this entire portfolio, and investing behind products, routes to market, partnerships like Dell and AWS is what this funding will truly enable us to double down as sort of we look into the next 1 year.
Jaspreet, we're going to leave it at that. Big congratulations to you again and the entire team at Dhruva. Really appreciate you taking the time out for us. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're completely out of time. Many thanks for tuning in. Startup Central will be back tomorrow, same time at 6 p.m.